Most expensive car repairs don't start with a breakdown. They start with small maintenance steps drivers quietly skip. And once you ignore the early signs, the repair bill grows fast. Today, we're counting down 14 simple checks that prevent repairs costing thousands. If you drive regularly and don't know these, you're probably paying more than you should. 14. Check your serpentine belt for cracks. Every oil change. Skip this check, and not replacing a $20 part becomes a $1,000 problem. Because your serpentine belt drives everything: alternator, water pump, power steering, air conditioning. When it fails, you're stranded immediately. And if it breaks while driving, your engine can overheat and destroy itself in under 3 minutes. Yet most people never check it until it's too late. Inspecting your belt takes 30 seconds. Pop your hood. Look at the belt for cracks, fraying, or glazing. If you see any cracks running across the ribs, replace it immediately. Don't wait. A new belt costs $25 to $40. A broken belt on the highway costs hundreds in towing, plus potential thousands in overheating damage. Modern belts typically last 60,000 to 100,000 miles, but extreme heat, oil contamination, or manufacturing defects can cause early failure. The warning signs are obvious if you look, such as cracks that look like dry skin, shiny glazed surfaces, or frayed edges, but a broken belt, at least, gives you warning signs. What's lurking at number 13 is silent until the exact moment it destroys your engine, and the fix costs less than a pizza. Something you can check while watching this video is if you're subscribed. No? Go on, hit that button, and like this video while you're at it. 13. Clean your battery terminals twice a year. This might be the easiest of the list. You can do this right after finishing this video. Corroded battery terminals create electrical resistance that forces your alternator and starter to work harder, shortening their lifespan and eventually leaving you stranded. This simple 15-minute cleaning saves you from $500 alternator replacements and $800 starter replacements. Cleaning is simple. Disconnect the negative terminal first, then positive. Mix baking soda with water, scrub the terminals with an old toothbrush, rinse with water, dry everything thoroughly, and reconnect positive first, then negative. Total cost, essentially zero. Total time, 15 minutes. A delivery driver in Michigan ignored corroded terminals for 8 months. His alternator was working overtime, pushing current through the resistance. The alternator finally failed, leaving him stranded with a full load of packages. Alternator replacement cost $680, plus he lost a day of income. His mechanic showed him the corroded terminals and explained that a 10-minute cleaning would have prevented the entire situation. Corrosion destroys expensive components slowly. But what's coming at number 12 is where one simple check prevents the most common cause of roadside breakdowns in America. And it's something you can fix in your driveway for free. 12. Check tire pressure monthly, not when the light comes on. Unfortunately, by the time the light appears, the damage is already done. Underinflated tires reduce fuel economy by up to 3%, cause uneven wear that destroys tires 50% faster, and increase braking distance by 10 feet at 60 miles per hour. Yet 70% of drivers never check tire pressure until the warning light appears, by which time damage is already done. Your tire pressure warning light only illuminates when pressure drops 25% below specification. That means if your tires should be 35 psi, the light won't trigger until they're around 26 psi. You've been driving on dangerously underinflated tires for weeks or months before you even know. Underinflated tires generate excessive heat, which breaks down the rubber compound and causes internal structural damage. They also create uneven wear patterns that make your tires dangerous and forces premature replacement. A set of tires that should last 60,000 miles might only last 40,000 if chronically underinflated. Checking tire pressure takes 5 minutes. Buy a digital tire pressure gauge for $15 at any auto parts store. Check all 4 tires monthly when they're cold, before you've driven more than a mile. Add air at any gas station for free. A rideshare driver in California ignored tire pressure for 6 months until his warning light appeared. By that time, his tires had developed irregular wear patterns from running underinflated. He had to replace all 4 tires at 35,000 miles instead of the expected 60,000 miles. That's $450 wasted because he didn't spend 5 minutes monthly checking pressure. Now here's where it gets serious. Tire pressure is visible if you look. The next secret is hiding deep in your engine. And ignoring it turns a $15 fix into a $4,000 nightmare faster than you can say catastrophic failure. 11. Change your oil filter. every single oil change. This sounds obvious, but you'd be shocked how many quick lube shops reuse oil filters or use cheap filters that fail within thousands of miles. Your oil filter is your engine's only defense against metal particles, dirt, and sludge. A failed or cheap filter means all the contamination circulates through your bearings and destroys your engine. The difference between a $5 economy filter and a $15 premium filter, like Wix or Mobil 1, is massive in filtration efficiency and durability. Premium filters capture 99% of particles down to 25 microns. Cheap filters might only capture 80% of 50-micron particles. A fleet manager in Ohio sent oil samples from his delivery vans to a lab for analysis. The vehicles serviced at a certain quick lube chain showed elevated wear metals compared to vehicles serviced elsewhere. Investigation revealed the chain was reusing oil filters to cut costs. Over 50 vehicles in his fleet suffered accelerated engine wear. Repair costs exceeded $30,000. Always use quality oil filters and verify they're actually replaced. If you go to a quick lube shop, ask to see the old filter. Better yet, do your own oil changes or use a trusted independent mechanic who values your business. But at least oil filter problems show up in time. What I'm about to reveal at number 10 is the hidden killer that mechanics deliberately don't check because fixing it properly takes effort. And when it fails, you're looking at instant engine destruction with zero warning. 10. Inspect your oil for metal shavings and coolant. Your oil tells you everything about your engine's health, but 90% of drivers never actually look at it. Checking your oil condition, not just the level, can reveal problems weeks or months before catastrophic failure, saving you thousands in engine repairs. When you check your oil, don't just look at the level on the dipstick. Look at the color and consistency. Fresh oil is amber or light brown. As it ages, it darkens. That's normal. But if your oil is milky or has a chocolate milk appearance, coolant is leaking into your oil, a sign of head gasket failure. If your oil has metallic sparkles or feels gritty, that's metal particles from internal engine wear. This means bearings, pistons, or other components are wearing abnormally. Catching this early, when metal particles first appear, lets you fix the source problem before complete engine failure. Check your oil weekly, pull the dipstick, wipe it on a white paper towel, and inspect the oil condition carefully. This 30-second habit can save your engine. And hey, if this kind of no-nonsense advice is helping you catch problems before they explode your bank account, hit that subscribe button. Now, because what's coming at number 9 has personally saved me from 3 engine failures, and it's something your dealership will never ever mention during your service appointments. 9. Listen for changes in engine sound. If the sound doesn't feel right, it usually isn't right. Listen to your gut. Your ears are the most sensitive diagnostic tool you own. Learning what your engine sounds like when healthy lets you detect problems instantly when sounds change. Most catastrophic engine failures give audible warnings days or weeks before complete destruction, if you're listening. A healthy engine has a smooth, consistent sound at idle. Any ticking, knocking, grinding, or rattling is abnormal and indicates specific problems. A tick usually means valve train issues. A knock indicates bearing problems. Grinding suggests accessory failure. Rattling often means timing chain problems. The key is establishing a baseline. Spend time listening to your engine at idle and while driving. Memorize the normal sounds. When something changes, investigate immediately. Don't wait. Modern engines give warnings before failure. The problem is most drivers have radios blasting and never actually listen to their engines. Turn off your music occasionally and listen. Your engine is communicating with you. Engine sounds reveal early problems, but what's hidden at number 8 is visual, and it predicts catastrophic failure 30 to 60 days in advance. 8. Check your coolant level weekly. Low coolant is the number 1 cause of engine overheating and head gasket failure. Yet most drivers never check it until the temperature gauge spikes, by which time engine damage is already occurring. Checking coolant weekly takes 30 seconds and prevents $4,000 head gasket repairs. Your coolant system is sealed, but not perfect. Small leaks develop over time from hose connections, the water pump, or the radiator itself. These leaks are often slow, losing only an ounce or 2 per week. You won't notice puddles, but over months, your coolant level drops dangerously low. When coolant gets low, air pockets form in the system. These air pockets prevent proper circulation and create hot spots in your engine. Your temperature gauge might read normal because the sensor is in a location that still has coolant, but parts of your engine are overheating. Checking is simple. When the engine is cold, check your coolant reservoir. It should be between the min and max lines. If it's below minimum, add a 50-50 mix of coolant and distilled water. If you're constantly topping off, you have a leak that needs immediate repair. A Toyota owner in Oregon noticed his coolant reservoir was slightly low during a weekly check. He topped it off and checked again 3 days later. It was low again. He took it to a mechanic who found a small hose leak. Repair cost? $65. If he'd ignored the slow leak, the engine would have eventually overheated, destroying the head gasket for a $4,200 repair. Hold on, because the next secret is instant. One wrong move and your transmission is dead in seconds. 7. Never shift to park while still moving. Shifting into park while your vehicle is still rolling, even at 1 mile per hour, can damage or destroy your parking paddle, which is the mechanism that locks your transmission. This tiny component costs $1,500 to $3,000 to replace because it requires transmission removal. Modern automatic transmissions have a parking paddle, a small metal pin that engages with a gear to prevent your car from rolling when parked. This paddle is designed to engage when the vehicle is completely stationary. Engaging it while moving creates tremendous stress and can shear the paddle or damage the gear teeth. The damage might not be immediate. You might shift to park while rolling dozens of times before the paddle finally fails. But each time, you're weakening the component. When it finally breaks, your car won't stay in park. It'll roll freely, which is dangerous and expensive. The correct procedure: come to a complete stop, press the brake firmly, then shift to park. Wait that extra half second. Your transmission will last 50,000 miles longer. Now we're entering dangerous territory. The next 6 secrets aren't just about saving money. They're about preventing failures that happen in seconds and leave you stranded miles from help. Number 6. A loan could save you from a $5,000 repair that happens in under 10 minutes of driving. 6. Warm up your turbo before pushing it. If you drive a turbocharged vehicle and you immediately floor it after starting the engine, you're destroying your turbo bearings right now. Turbos need 30 to 60 seconds of normal driving before aggressive acceleration to allow oil to circulate and protect the high-speed bearings. Turbochargers spin at over 100,000 RPM and operate at temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees. The bearings are tiny and require immediate oil flow for protection. When you first start your engine, oil is cold and thick. It takes time to reach the turbo and build pressure. If you immediately boost your turbo before oil pressure is adequate, those bearings run essentially dry for several seconds. This causes microscopic damage that accumulates over time. After thousands of cold start hard accelerations, the bearings fail completely. The solution is simple. After starting your engine, drive gently for the first minute. Keep RPMs below 3,000 and avoid hard acceleration. Once the engine reaches operating temperature, drive however you want. A Volkswagen GTI owner in Colorado had a habit of launching hard from his driveway every morning in freezing weather. By 50,000 miles, his turbo developed a whistle and started smoking. Replacement cost $4,000. His mechanic explained that warming up the turbo for just 60 seconds before aggressive driving would have prevented the entire failure. But turbo bearings at least give you warning sounds. What's waiting at number 5 is silent until the exact second it fails, and when it does, your engine stops instantly wherever you are. 5. Replace your timing belt at manufacturer intervals. If your engine has a timing belt and you exceed the manufacturer's replacement interval, you're gambling with catastrophic engine failure. Timing belts rarely give warning before failure. They snap suddenly. And in interference engines, this causes pistons to collide with valves, destroying your engine instantly. Timing belts are made of reinforced rubber that deteriorates over time and miles from heat, oil contamination, and stress. Most manufacturers specify replacement every 60,000 to 100,000 miles or 7 to 10 years. Whichever comes first. Timing belt replacement costs $500 to $1,000 depending on your vehicle. Engine replacement or rebuild from timing belt failure costs $5,000 to $10,000. The math is obvious. A Honda Accord owner in Georgia stretched his timing belt to 130,000 miles, 60,000 miles past Honda's recommendation, to save money. The belt snapped on the interstate at 70 miles per hour. The engine stopped instantly. Towing plus engine teardown revealed 16 bent valves and damaged pistons. Total repair cost $7,900. For $800, he could have replaced the belt on schedule and avoided everything. Check your owner's manual for timing belt replacement intervals. If your car has 100,000 miles and the belt was never replaced, do it immediately. Don't gamble. Perhaps you are breathing easier because your car has a timing chain, not a belt. But don't relax yet, because number 4 is destroying timing chains in engines as new as 5 years old, and the repair costs even more than a timing belt failure. 4. Change your oil on time to protect timing chains. Modern timing chains are designed to last the life of the engine, but they're failing prematurely in many vehicles due to oil neglect. Dirty or low oil causes timing chain stretch, which leads to rattling, poor performance, check engine lights, and eventually catastrophic engine failure costing $6,000 to $10,000. Timing chains operate in an oil bath and depend on clean oil for lubrication and hydraulic pressure for tensioner operation. When oil gets dirty or depleted, the chain and tensioner guides wear rapidly. The chain stretches, throwing off engine timing. The symptoms of timing chain problems include rattling at startup, check engine lights for camshaft position errors, and rough idle. By the time you hear rattling, the chain is already stretched and damaged. Replacement requires engine disassembly and costs $4,000 to $8,000, depending on the vehicle. A BMW owner in New York stretched his oil changes to 10,000 miles using conventional oil rated for 5,000. By 80,000 miles, his engine developed a pronounced rattle. Diagnosis revealed severe timing chain stretch. Repair costs $7,200 for a new chain, guides, tensioners, and variable valve timing solenoids. If he'd changed oil every 5,000 miles as specified, the chain would have lasted the life of the engine. The final 3 secrets on this list are where most engines actually die. Number 3 has ended more engine lives than anything else on this list. It costs nothing to prevent, and you can check it right now in under 60 seconds. 3. Check for oil leaks monthly. Oil leaks don't just waste oil. They starve your engine of lubrication gradually until catastrophic failure occurs. Most drivers never check for leaks until the low oil light appears, by which time engine damage is already happening. Small oil leaks are insidious. Losing 1 ounce per week doesn't create visible puddles, but over months, your oil level drops dangerously low. Modern engines with tight tolerances cannot tolerate low oil. Even running 1 quart low can cause bearing damage. The warning signs are subtle. Oil spots on your driveway, oil residue under your engine, or declining oil level between changes. Many leaks start small and get worse over time as seals and gaskets age. Checking for leaks takes 60 seconds. Park on clean pavement, check underneath your car for oil spots, and inspect your engine for oil residue around the valve cover, oil pan, and oil filter. If you see leaks, repair them immediately before they get worse. A Subaru owner in Maine ignored a small valve cover gasket leak because it didn't seem serious. Over 6 months, the leak worsened, and his oil level dropped to 2 quarts low. He didn't notice until his engine developed a rod knock. The low oil had starved the bearings. Engine rebuild cost $6,800. The valve cover gasket would have cost $150 to replace. What's coming at number 2 is invisible. It's happening inside your engine right now if you've made this one common mistake. And by the time you realize it, the damage is permanent and irreversible. 2. Use the correct oil viscosity for your engine. Using the wrong oil viscosity, even high-quality synthetic oil can destroy your engine by causing inadequate lubrication, increased wear, and potential oil starvation. Your manufacturer specifies oil viscosity for a reason. It's engineered for your engine's tolerances, clearances, and operating conditions. Modern engines have extremely tight tolerances between moving parts. They're designed around specific oil viscosity, using thicker oil than specified, like 10W40 instead of 5W30, means oil can't flow quickly enough through narrow passages, especially during cold starts. This causes oil starvation in critical areas. Using thinner oil than specified, like 0W20 when 5W30 is required, means inadequate oil film strength under load. The oil shears down too easily and can't protect bearings and cylinder walls adequately. The first number, the W number, indicates cold flow characteristics. The second number indicates hot viscosity. Your engine needs both to be correct for proper protection. A Ford EcoBoost owner in Arizona used 0W20 oil because he thought thinner oil meant better fuel economy. Ford specifies 5W30 for EcoBoost engines, especially in hot climates. By 90,000 miles, his engine developed bearing noise from inadequate oil film strength under boost. Repair cost $5,900 for new bearings, and associated engine work. And now we've arrived at number 1, the single maintenance secret that prevents more engine failures than everything else combined. This is the tip that saved me from 3 catastrophic failures personally. It costs absolutely nothing, and you can implement it starting today. Are you ready? 1. Actually read your owner's manual. Your owner's manual contains every maintenance secret your engine needs to last 300,000 miles. Yet 90% of drivers have never read it beyond the radio instructions. Everything you need to know, maintenance intervals, fluid specifications, warning signs, and preventive care, is documented in that book sitting in your glove box. The owner's manual tells you exactly when to change oil, replace filters, inspect belts, flush fluids, and check critical components. It specifies the correct oil viscosity, coolant type, and brake fluid. It explains warning lights and symptoms. It's literally a manual for keeping your engine alive. Yet most drivers ignore it and rely on generic advice from quick lube shops, internet forums, or dealerships with profit motives. The people who designed your engine wrote that manual. They know exactly what your engine needs. Following your owner's manual religiously prevents 90% of preventable engine failures. It's not complicated or expensive. It's just discipline and attention. A mechanic with 40 years of experience told me the number 1 predictor of whether a car reaches 300,000 miles is whether the owner actually read and followed the owner's manual. Cars that reached high mileage had owners who treated the manual like a Bible. Cars that failed early had owners who never opened it. Reading your owner's manual takes 1 hour. Following its recommendations costs less than ignoring them. Every secret I've shared in this video is probably mentioned in your owner's manual. The information has always been there. You just needed to actually read it. Go to your car right now, pull out the owner's manual, and spend 30 minutes reading the maintenance section. Highlight the important intervals. Set calendar reminders. Your engine will reward you with hundreds of thousands of additional miles. There's a video on your screen right now. Click it, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to learn how to maintain your car for less than a Frappuccino at Starbucks, and like this video if you enjoyed it.